Our experiment is Are Fingerprints Hereditary by Aidan Lee and Arash Fatui.
For our experiment, we took the fingerprints from a parent and child and we compared them. And when we compared them, we were looking for patterns such as arcs, loops, and whorls. From those fingerprints, we will be determining if they're hereditary. And to determine if they're hereditary, we will be looking for similar or repeating patterns.
As you may know, a parent and child, or a brother and sister, have many things in common, such as nose or eyes. We wanted to find out if this was similar for fingerprints. Fingerprints are very important in our society and can be used for forensics, identification, and family trees. For our materials, we used a lab notebook, scissors, a pencil, paper, an ink pad, a pair of unrelated volunteers, a pair of siblings, a pair of parents, and hand sanitizer.
For our procedure, we first went on the Federal Bureau of Investigation official website online and we printed out the fingerprint form that they use when they identify different volunteers. We had 3 different families consisting of four people. We took a fingerprint sample of each fingerprint and recorded it on these paper forms. We then compared the fingerprints of parent to child and sibling to sibling, and then our control group was every unrelated volunteer to each other. The method we used to record our fingerprints was we took a stamp ink pad and we pressed the finger lightly onto the pad and then lightly onto the form for each fingerprint.
We found that from our data, the parent and child fingerprints are the same. An example of this is Arash and his family. Arash's mother and father had loops and whirl patterns on their fingerprints. We found that Arash and his sister also had these 2 patterns and only these 2 patterns on their fingerprints. From the experiment, the data is as shown. The fingerprints from the forms indicate that fingerprint patterns do indeed get passed from a parent's genetics.
The procedure and the materials in the experiment did work as planned, and there weren't any major problems. However, we did have one minor issue, as the recording of the fingerprint is pretty difficult and not that easy as it seems, as the ink is it stains skin really easily and it's hard to get rid of. And also getting the fingerprint image to be actually very clear for us to be able to compare the data was also one issue we had in the beginning. There we go. In conclusion, this experiment turned out to be a success. We learned about different types of fingerprint patterns, skin types, inks, genetics, methods of recording fingerprints, and more. If we were to do this experiment again, we would change the method of recording fingerprints, maybe use a different kind of ink, and have a more diverse age group, and even have a different species as the subject matter of the experiment to see if there's any variation in the outcome. In the end, though, this experiment was a success, and the data did support our hypothesis.